Hey everyone, it's Sunday the 24th of August and it's 1:30 in the afternoon. In today's video, Diecast, as I've bought some new Hot Wheels, including 2 premiums, and lighting for the most part, and there might be a few things that I'll talk about in between and whatnot. Yeah, so let's just hop straight into it. We'll deal with all the Hot Wheels first and then we'll get on to the lighting because I'm actually going to install some as well. But I'll probably have to pause a little bit to do parts of it. Anywho, yeah, we'll start with the Hot Wheels and I can get all of that off the layout out of the way. Right, we'll start with one that's not technically die cast because it's plastic. A Airfix quick build kit that I got from Lidl's of a 1968 Ford Mustang. I couldn't resist. Can't resist a Mustang. It was cheap as well. Yeah. The wheels, the tolerances are a little bit off. I will just mention that. If you buy that as a toy, it's not going to roll very well. That one's actually quite stiff. You might want to use a file or something just to get the rubber burrs off there when it came off the little holder thingy. I don't know what they call it. In fact, I might actually have to snip this one off because that is causing an issue. Can I get the snips on there? Well, I need my other one. Probably could have done with the other ones. Oh, that's better. The other ones are too short to actually affect it, but they are rubbing. I don't know if you can see that. The actual hubs are rubbing on the plastic. That one's the best one out of all. Well, that one's not too bad. Ah. I've got a little bit on there which is getting in the way as well. So I've now trimmed all 4 and that one is still rubbing on something. Well, that's not too bad. Not for what I paid for it anyway. Like I said, I got that cheap. Right. I've got plenty of Hot Wheels to look at, so we'll take a look at the latest American Cars issue. So I've got the 1968 Ford Fairlane stroke Torino GT, and this is issue number 17. So we'll get another issue in another couple of weeks, which will be, what, issue 18, wouldn't it? Duh, of course it would. Apparently I can't count up to 20. Right, now we get on to the Hot Wheels. We'll have a look at these premiums because I've already been a rebel and opened them up. So we've got the Sakura Sprinter truck with the Toyota Corolla, 1972 Toyota Corolla in the back. Very well detailed little model. That one's got the plastic base, but that's got a metal base. And there is a page I follow on Facebook for Hot Wheels. And they posted like a little sort of custom premium thing and you know, put new premium coming soon. It wasn't, it was just them playing about. The page owner likes to do that. And I said in the comments that the premiums are a bit hit and miss for me. Sometimes, like with that truck and this one, the Land Rover Jaguar set. So we've got the 2023 Land Rover 110 with the trailer and the the Mark 1 Jaguar on the back. Metal trailer. Rubber tyres, I forgot to mention that. These have all got rubber tyres. Now I feel I did get my money's worth with those. But there's some premiums I've come across, especially like the single cars. You know, like my Volvos, and the Volvo and whatnot along here. But I don't feel I did, because I have noticed with some of them the level of detail is pretty much on par with their main lines. But yet, you know, they're like 3 times the bloody price, twice the price. 3 times the price-ish. I know they've all got rubber tyres, but some of them have metal bases, some of them have plastic bases. And like I said, sometimes with the level of detail, like detailing the lights and everything in, I've seen main lines with the lights all detailed in, so I don't see that as anything fancy. I've even come across some main lines with a metal base. So yeah, it's a bit, I don't know, a bit hit and miss for me, but I tend to go towards the ones that I really like the look of, like that Sakura Sprinter truck, for example, or the Land Rover set here. They were actually the only 2 I didn't have that are in, where did I get them from? Roy's, my Roy's department store. I was in there getting some bits and bobs for some DIY projects, and thought I'd just take a look at the toys, and found those on the shelf. They're expensive. They're nice, they're expensive. Anyway, speaking of main lines, I got this from the same shop, a little McLaren, I can't remember what it is, but they've put odd wheels on it. I really hate when they do that. I don't know if anyone else hates that, but I hate it. I don't see their reasoning behind it. That's they're all the same size wheels. The front's the same size as the rear. Maybe that's an error. I'll have to find another one, see if it is an error. I've got a feeling it's not, though. Now, I was in Sainsbury's this morning, getting my groceries, as you do. I've actually still got some groceries down on the bicycle trailer to go and bring up. A couple of packs of Pepsis and the cat food. That's my Reddies, we don't want to have a look at them, do we? Right. Now, I'm surprised this one didn't fly off the shelf, as someone had obviously been there before me and been through the Hot Wheels tub, because it was all here, there and every bloody where, and I hate it when people leave it like that. I always, when I'm there and I've had a shuffle through and I've emptied half the box out, I always put everything back where I got it from. But I feel like I'm like the only pillock that does that. Perhaps I should get paid by Sainsbury's. Perhaps they should employ me just to walk around sorting the shelves out. Anyway, I've got Optimus Prime. And that's going to be one of the few occasions that I'm not going to open it. If I could have found another one, I would have opened, or bought 2 and then opened one of them. But I've only got here, will it go there? If I actually overlap him, it might. I think that's the only way I'm going to get more Hot Wheels up here, is if I actually start overlapping them. Because I've got so many. I've actually got rid of a couple of my extra escorts. So that one's not going to be opened. Wait, I'll lay it on that shelf right there where my Solido Mercedes trucks are. Hopefully you can see that just behind me. And I'll forget it's there and I'll go looking for it and spend about half an hour looking for it. Anywho, we have a Honda CB750 Cafe Racer. Or CAF Racer. Not really my sort of cup of tea when it comes to motorbikes. I just don't like how they pretty much cut the rear end off. It's just not my favourite style. There we go. Oh, it does stand. I wasn't expecting that. Oh, they've actually designed it so it's got like a little stand on it. Can you see that? I didn't notice that. I stood on its wheels and I was fully expecting that to fall over. Right, what have we got next? A Morgan Super 3. Not a fan of the colour, but I still thought that was an interesting car. A bit like a reverse trike, isn't it? It's a 3-wheeler with the 3rd wheel at the back instead of at the front. Little old Morgan. just trying to see if that's the one I'm... No, it isn't. I thought that was the one where it had the little engine stuck at the front there. But it's not. I'm thinking of something different. Okay. Porsche 911 Rally. Try and tilt it so we don't get the reflections on it. It's a bit like a before and after, isn't it? I'll show you while it's in the packet and then I'll show you it again when it's out of the packet. I've just realised this seems to be a bit wider than normal Porsches. I always forget that it's actually pronounced Porsche. And I've got a 60, I think I've actually got this. I'm going to leave this one in the pack for now. It's a 67 Shelby GT500. Pretty certain I have got that at the packet. That's another one I'll lay over here. Okay, so I've got 4 more. I know I don't have this one. It's a 60... 69 Mercury Cyclone, I think that's what that says. Or 68. Always forget to bring my reading glasses through. Now these sort of fastback design of cars seem to have been quite a popular design choice back in the late 60s, early 70s for America, and then muscle cars. It's actually a design I quite like. I've just built one of these on the My Garage game, and I painted it flat black as well. I could have lacquered it, or clear coat for the Americans, but I thought, no, I'm just going to leave it flat black. I just realised, I didn't realise it in the shop that that was flat black, but, or a matte black is how we would call it here. Nice. It's a nice truck. It doesn't tell you what the year it is though. And just because I've got a variation on the DeLorean, I keep seeing this and then I kept putting it off. So I thought, you know what, I've got a few of the other variations of it, I might as well add that to it. The DMC DeLorean. Right, got one more, then I'm going to just clear this rubbish out of the way. A Dodge Challenger. What was the year? Actually, I've got 2 eager. I've opened this up already. 71 Dodge Challenger. I actually quite like the Challenger. Right, so let me be a good citizen and sort out my recycling. And the non-recycling. Now the question is, can I get it all in the arms? Right, it'll be 2 seconds while I just dump this in the bin. I don't know how I fill up the ordinary bins so quick. I'm the only one that lives here. Then again, you should see the amount of rubbish my mum chucks out. And that's just her and my stepdad. Righty-ho then. I have to put these, actually I'll put these over here. Up in the diecast corner for the time being. I do like that now. Oh! When I was in my Morrison's Daily earlier, I did meet a guy that follows the channels, because he was actually asking about the Lego at the city as well. Yeah, I don't know why it's just on pause at the minute. I've not done anything with it. I need to get back into it. What I need is bits. I need to pull my finger out, as we say, and get the track. Get the track and the base plates I need, then I can add buildings and stuff. Right. Next, we'll have a chat about some lighting. So, underneath the layout, it's rather dark. I mean, I can basically see diddly squat under there. That makes it quite difficult when I'm having to rummage through the boxes for scenery stuff and whatnot and rolling stock. So, yesterday I went digging in my cupboard just outside the flat here. I found 4 of these. I've put 2 under the desk in the lounge, under the PC desk. And these 2 are going to go under here. And I'm also going to install just an ordinary light switch and just screw to the underside. I've got some choices here and whatnot. I'm just thinking, because you see these, you can daisy chain these, they just go together like that. You just need one of those figure 8 cables to plug in the end, which I have got. But the problem is I can't put them together like that. I've got to put them like that. So what I'm going to have to do is make one, because I haven't got an adapter cable that will go between the... Oh, actually, if I can find it, I have. But typically, I can't remember where I've put it, because I have just realised I need that. I need a socket end, not a plug in, don't I? Well, for the time being, I can actually put one of these up, so I'll cut the plug off of these for no reason. Mind you, you can always put a plug back on those, that's not a big issue. That actually reminds me, I've not seen the Big Issue sellers in town for a while. Although normally they appear sort of in winter, like the holiday seasons and whatnot. I don't know why. I just sort of not... Mind you, I've not been into town on a Thursday for a while. Well, maybe they've given up because I don't seem to ever sell them. You know, poor sods, they're usually out there in all weathers trying to sell it. Anywho, I digress a bit. Got these LED bulbs for those lights as well. I've got plenty of filament ones, but they get rather hot. You can tell these have been used quite a bit. Because these are actually old display cabinet lights. That's what these would have been used for originally. I think these ones would have been a 40 watt max. Light Scene, made in England. 30 watt max. 30 watt max, and they still did that heat damage. Crazy. I'm going to need to splice this one though. No, I'm not. I could use one of these, couldn't I, that I've already cut, to go from the light to the light switch. Although, having said that, that's not going to be long enough to go from light switch to socket. I might have to find another bit of flex. But yeah, that's the plan for that. Now, I also want a light above my head. My head? My head, not my head. And as I said in the last video, Friday I went and picked up 3 of these. There's 2 very similar. Got another one which is pretty much identical shape to this one, but it comes apart differently and is just slightly larger dimensions, as in height and width. length, they're all 5 foot length. Well, allegedly. The other one of these is literally like that much longer. Not kidding. Yeah, they were £10 each. That's why I went for all 3. Because I'm not 100% certain. I think I'm about 80% certain that I'm going to leave the fluorescent light up there. Only because I don't want to change every single light fitting in the flat to LED. You know, I'm not worried about the running cost of that because I don't use it that often. And to be honest, it doesn't make that much of a dent on the bill anyway. I do, however, want to straighten it up because I put it up there years ago. It's been on the wonk all the time, and it's finally ticked me off to the point I want to get up there and straighten. I've just got to take the screws out of this end and just bring it this way a little bit. It's a bit difficult when you're on your own and you've got a big twin fluorescent fitting like that to put up on your own. Mind you, I could have done it better anyway. I think one of these light fittings, here's the other one. Not the other one, picked up the wrong one. Here's the one that was similar to the first one I showed. See, same shape. But instead of having to pop the whole end cap off like the other one, it's separate there. That's what that line is, it's separate. And you've got these buttons. It's one either side and one either end. So there's 4 of them, you just squeeze them in like that and it releases a couple of catches and you can just pull the stop off. Probably the easiest one to disassemble. The first one, those locking tabs on the end caps are a bit tough. And this one I'm about to show you. This one's got more of a traditional fluorescent light design to it. See, you might be able to see it better if I do it that way. But it's not, it's LED. Although this one's actually not too bad. You have to pop these end caps off and then put a screwdriver in to release these tabs there. There's like 3 of them down there and I've just realised that one's not locked in. Oh yes it is. So that one's not too bad to dismantle. And because obviously the lighting strip, the LED strip is on this whole section that removes, you can unplug them from the power supply, so you can remove it. You haven't got to leave it dangling there on the wires, which is also good. So yeah, I'm just going to put one of those up here. Not today though. That's going to be a job for doing a week, so I'm going to have to clear all of this so I can temporarily put it back up so I can access that light. I don't need this out of the way to put the light up here, but I am going to need it when I get to connecting it. This is going to be daisy chained off of that one. It's only on a 13 amp plug down there, that'll be fine for that and an LED. Then we've got just an ordinary light switch on the wall. Just one of them. That's it. So I do a lot of my lighting mods in here. It saves a lot of hassle with your housing association if you do it that way. Well, that's one of the reasons I've pretty much every additional light I've added in here is plugged in, apart from when I've changed the main light fittings, of course, because obviously it's sort of like every 5 or 6 years the housing association does an electrical check. Of course, if it's plugged in, it's not included. It's just counted as a plug-in device. You know, it's only the permanently wired stuff. And the other reason is I can't get in the attic to do anything properly anyway. The attic access is out on the landing. Well, I could if I wanted to. It's locked, but I'm assuming when Flagship fully merged with Victory Homes, because this was Victory Homes years ago before they merged with Flagship Housing, the keys got lost because every heating engineer I've seen that has arrived to maintain the heating and whatnot has undone the screws for the locks and then just screwed them back up when they're done. So I'm guessing the keys have got lost. Just like they got lost for the gate up the end there for the mower team to come in and trim the grass. So it's just tied shut with a bit of rope at the minute. I don't know why they don't just cut the lock off and put a new one on. Then again, as a resident, it has been handy being able to open that myself. So, right. I need a light under this desk because I'm not going to be able to see diddly squat under there to put these up. I can put both up where I need them, but I think even with that adapter cable I've got, I don't actually know if the plug's going to go over that. I might actually have to change this and use an entirely different light, which I'm going to go and grab. Actually, I think this might be the better option. Got this one, little T8 fluorescent tube, which you could do with a clean, because it's just where I've dropped empty cans on the floor, you know, and they still have that tiny little bit in the bottom. But that might be a better option. One issue I've got though is getting a cable into it, because there's no... Why has this got to be so awkward? I've got a few options, I just don't know which is the best one to go with. If I can find a 12 volt DC adapter, I've got this one. Known as 12 volt DC. And I also think those clips are riveted on, but I could soon get those off and just pop a screw, drill just a couple of holes in there for a couple of screws. That's not an issue. But do I have a adequate 12 volt DC power supply that I can just connect to it, because I can just wire it straight up onto that and then just plug it in, and it's got a switch on it as well. And I think it would give me adequate light under here. Oh, pardon me. So I may actually run with this if I can find a power supply. But I'm going to have to find it up. So I'm not going to be putting any lights up under here at the moment. So is there anything I can talk about while I've got the camera on? I don't know. There we go. I've got a couple of spare tubes. I've got a nice one in there. I might swap the tubes over. In fact, there is actually screw holes in here. Well, holes I can use for screws, at least. Yeah, I might have to just drill the rivets out for those clamps. Literally just push the wires on the end. I have got a third one of these tubes as well. So this has had some use, but it doesn't look like it's had a lot of use. Let's just get the tube off out of the way. Now I've got my drill in here, but I ain't got my drill bits. It's a shame, I haven't got a bar or anything that I can put up under here first. This one is actually a bit slimmer than that one as well. I can't remember where I got that from. Oh yes I can, it was else from car boot. Let me just rotate that. Are they the same length? Yep, exactly the same length. Let me just grab a case of drill bits, might as well try. Just grab that other tube from the lounge. There we go. Oh, nuts. Where am I going to put that? On the bed, I think, for the time being. So I'll find a drill bit in here big enough. That one should do it, because I've only got to drill the rivets. And get Old Faithful. I was actually miffed that my Hilker broke. The chuck fell off. The chuck thing actually broke and fell off. It's got to work well like that, isn't it? I mean, that was 30 quid from Argos, along with that drill bit set was 30 quid. So for 60 quid I've got a big ass case of bits, screwdriver bits and all sorts in there. And a drill. The only thing I do not like about this, no speed control. So if you're trying to use it to like start a screw off in some wood or something, it's not easy because you can't start slowly. It's just, that's it. Speed on or speed off. That's all you get with this one. And it does take a while to charge it. There's one. Oh, actually reveals a nice screw hole. I only need a couple of little screws. It's only lightweight. I might pause you. Come on, get out of there. Yeah, I might pause you. Set you up under here because I might just get this screwed up. There we go. If I can at least get it screwed into place. I haven't got my bloody light under there though. Yeah, I can't connect it to the railway controller because the one I actually use has got 12 volt output on it, but that's AC, not DC, I believe. And these have to have DC. I ran one of these years ago on AC. It only worked for a little while before I burnt it out, so not good. Big ass bloody cable on this. I have got a bag full of various adapters. I just need to see if I can find, well, the most capable one really. See what I mean by dark under here. Look at it. Alright. You can stay there for a minute. I have got a light I can use. There we go. Ow! That was sharp. Okay, so I need screws. Alright, I'm a numbnuts. What have I done with the screwdriver bit out of the drill? Oh, that light, that'll do. Oop. Pot screws. Other light is there. Did I don't remember what I've done with my screwdriver bit. It's got to be laying up here. Come out, wherever you are. I'll try that tube, I think. Ah, I found it. Shall be a man that just can't resist doing that. If they can resist it, I'd be impressed. It's like when you go and pick one of these up, every man's got to go like that as soon as they pick it up. It's just the done thing. Can I get under there? I've got a smudgy under here as well, which is... You're kind of getting in the way, buddy. Sorry, mate. I have no idea what that is. Ow! Ow! Twice. Oh. Get a bit of track out of the way. Right. Ow. Just thought I'd have known that was there. Apparently not. Whoa! Where's my tripod go? Right. Well, let me get my light plugged in. It's not the safest in the world, but it will do. As long as I can get some illuminations under here. There we go. It's just a bare connector block there. I just got to watch. Mind you, if I do that, then it's all covered up. Now this is where I find I haven't got a big enough bloody gap here to put it in. Well, I suppose I could put it at an angle. Ooh. Ooh. I've got to put it that way round. Nope. I might actually have to put it up this way then. Yeah, I think that's the way I'm going to have to do it. And I wish it didn't have all this bloody cable on it. Get off. Right. That's my tub. I need the tube rather. Alrighty. Ooh. These little screws might actually be perfect. And this is why I'm going to find the bleeding screw bit don't fit. Yeah, do. That's good. Right. Let's get this up here then. We'll get that through the hole. Like so. Nope. I dropped it. It's landed by your feet. Should we try again? Get that one up there straighter than the one I got on the ceiling at least. So I can't use very long screws on here. Okay, so I screwed off a bit, doesn't fit the second screw that I got out the box. Let's try again, shall we? They're different screws as well now that I look at them. The lights just fell over. Will that one work? Nope. Bloody light. But that one. Doesn't matter if they actually go all the way through, because I can just take like the Dremel or something to them and just trim the ends off. Okay, now my fan's just suddenly decided to fall over. What's going on? Okay, all I've got to do is put the tube in. And put the cover on. Just had to turn the light because it's hurting my eyes actually. It's been more of a hindrance than a help. Okay. That's those two wires on, and I've got to put the shorty ones on for the other end. Oh, get on there. There we go. Can I? I think that'll do. I think the diffuser bit is still up there, but I haven't even got an adapter at hand so I can just test it. Although, I have got a 12-volt battery. So at least I can just check it's still working. Let me just go and grab that. It's under the computer desk. Yeah, I know it's a strange place to keep a pile of batteries, but I've got a pile under there. You know, I could potentially just use it on a battery. We'll unplug that. For how little I'll use this light, I could literally just use one of my batteries. Right. I don't know which is positive and which is negative. I don't even know if that switch is turned on. Oh, it's turned on. Keep in mind it's not warmed up yet. We are on a battery, but at least I know it works. And I don't know if the battery's actually fully charged either. Okay. Just need that to run round to where the trailing socket is. Yeah, it'll probably be bright if I can get it on a what did I know where it is. I know where it is. We'll put you back up here and bring you back down to my level. I'll grab the bag of adapters. Perhaps I should actually invest in a box to put these in. Ooh, I am going to need either my reading glasses or my magnifier for that. I'll tell you what, I'll grab both. How about that? This is a sight you don't see much. It's not a sight I see much either. No, get it? It's a seeing joke. Whoa! Oh, that's 18 volts. Now I'll blow the bejeebus out of that. A lot of these are tangled up. I don't think that's going to be man enough. It's only 5 volt. Oh, got an LED hooked up in that as well. That's only a 5 volt one. No idea what it goes to though. That one's no good. I've got a few of these in here. I don't know what they're for though. No, max 5 watt anyway. That's well, it's an 8 watt tube at least. What we got here? $5 volt. I bet these days 5 volt's going to be quite a popular one. That seems to have become like the industry standard. 12 volt 2 amps, 24.0 watt. That would be a good one then. I could try this one. I might actually have to just plug it in and meter out the leads so I know which is positive and which is negative. Do I need that plug for anything? Not really. I'll stop hoarding and just get rid of it. Okay, that's brand new for something as well. Look, it's still got all the factory issued tie around it. Don't need this much cable though. I will have to heat shrink it. At least I've found one. I think, or at least on the light, I think the wire with the tracer on it is the negative. I will stick it on the battery. I did actually look that way around. I had the thingy, right. Working up a sweat now. Oh, that's one thing I wanted to do. Can I find the right base for these? I know one of these fitted on here perfectly. I was just looking at that base. That's got two different couplers on it. Ah! Goes on that one perfectly. So, what I'm going to do, find my open one. Hopefully I can actually open it. I gummed it up. That's that one, isn't it? Dribble the glue all over the base bit here. Put some on the pegs as well, I think. Across the front back. Down that side. Oh, nearly glued my fingers together. There we go. Can I get this? Oh. Well, that one goes on here perfectly fine as well, so. Go. That like that, and then we can leave them for a minute or two to dry. I'm going to be picking super glue off my fingers later. Get the lid back on this. I found those in the box and they've been sort of separate like that for a while, so I thought as I've now got some fresh super glue I'll just stick them back together. Don't need any of this now, do I? I can just reach under there and hit the button. That, yeah, I'm going to keep that light and put a tube back in it for safekeeping. I've got a spare tube there, I've got to put that on the light. I don't think I'm going to need these for anything. I can't think of a use for these clips. But that 12 volt fluorescent light is another one that I picked up from Alsham Car Boot. There's a reason why I hoard lights. Right, I think that will do for today's video. Okay, have I got any cable clips? Yeah, I've got a hammer. Good. That's not cable clips, that's an inline switch. Yeah, those little ones should do that. It's just got to keep it out of the way so it's not just dangling everywhere. Anywho, thanks a lot for watching everyone. If you liked the video, hit the like button. If you didn't, hit the dislike button. If you have any comments, questions, etc., leave them in the comments down below. And maybe consider subscribing. It's free to subscribe. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.